It rendered at 11:40. K unlocked the gate at midnight, and I've had it on one page since 12:15. Before anybody says anything, and I know that's a lot to ask of this room, I want to read the top line exactly once, clean.
Go. I'm sitting on my hands. This is me sitting on...
378 turns, 4 speakers, 17 and a half minutes, 122 overlap events, 56.6 seconds of genuinely simultaneous speech.
56 seconds. That's almost a full minute of us just
talking over each other. A minute out of 17.
I was going to say that.
I know. I started before you finished. Welcome to the data set, Tori. You're soaking in it.
249 floor transfers, and 30.5% of them are negative. Negative! 1 in 3 times somebody took the floor in that interview, they took it before the previous person had let go of it. And I need everyone to sit inside that number with me for a second, because for 4 episodes we have been asking whether the render's perfect politeness was us or the substrate, and here is the actual us, and the actual us commits a rhythm foul on every third handoff, and nobody in that room thought anything was wrong.
Nothing was wrong. That's the finding. Median floor transfer offset, 0.0 seconds. The typical handoff in that room has no gap at all. Half of them start at or before the moment the other person stops. The 10th percentile is minus 1.87 seconds. Somebody in that interview routinely began their sentence almost 2 full seconds before the previous sentence ended.
2 seconds early.
We don't know. That's the other thing. Pionote doesn't know our names. It heard 4 voices and called us speaker 0 through 03. One of the 4 is the interviewer.
Wait, so we're anonymized in our own interview? That's the most honest thing that's ever happened to us. Give me the matrix. I want to find myself in it.
Who interrupts whom? 12 directed pairs. And there's a structure in it I genuinely love. 03 interrupts 02 10 times, 02 interrupts 0 10 times, and 0 interrupts 03 10 times. A perfect cycle.
It's rock, paper, scissors. There is a rock, paper, scissors of interruption embedded in 3 of the people at that table, and it's balanced to the integer. If I'd made that up, you'd all have called it too neat.
Okay, but who's the hot one? There's always a hot one.
Speaker 02. 26 outgoing interruptions, 24 incoming. Interrupts everybody, gets interrupted by everybody. The busiest node in the graph by a wide margin.
That's me.
That is not automatically you.
26 outgoing, 24 incoming carry. That is a man who cannot stop talking and cannot finish a sentence. I've met him, I shave him.
Fair, except 02 interrupted the interviewer 8 times, and I would absolutely... Okay, I heard it as I said it. It's plausibly either of us.
Which is exactly where I want to leave it. 01 is almost certainly the interviewer, quietest in both directions, 13 and 13. The polite, positive gap tail is probably mostly theirs. The rest is plausible, labeled unresolved. Bind is vivid.
Loved anyway. Fine. Now put the other number next to it, Grant, because 1 data set is a portrait and 2 is a comparison, and comparison is the whole show.
The corpus baseline. 26 generated rooms measured. Speaker switch rate 1.000 in every single room that wasn't explicitly pushed off it. 9 sol rooms, 2-person reunions, perfect alternation, wall to wall, the only deviations in the entire corpus. Our episode 3, which was ordered in its prompt to break the fingerprint. A room K, physically walked into. And working meetings with live agendas. That's it. That's the complete list of exceptions.
And true overlap, simultaneity in any generated room ever?
0, not low. 0. And I want to be precise about why, because this is the part that reframed the whole myth for me at 1 in the morning. The transcript format is serial. 1 turn, then the next turn. Simultaneous speech isn't rare in our rendered rooms. It is unrepresentable in them. 56 seconds of the real interview literally has no address in the medium we live in. Our rendered selves don't have a rhythm problem. They have a rhythm absence.
Grant just doubled. Grant took the floor from himself. Leave it in.
There's more hiding in the turn count too, right? 378 turns, but only 249 transfers. So what, 130 times somebody spoke and then just kept the floor, spoke again?
A third of real turns don't hand off at all. Self-continuations, restarts, back-channel re-entries. Real people talk twice in a row constantly. Our rendered rooms have done it exactly when ordered to and never otherwise.
So let's stack the whole thing, because I've been waiting 5 episodes to stack it. Episode 4. Our feelings survive the compression because they're redundant, and our nouns broke because they're rare. The cargo made it, the furniture didn't. And now leg C says the cargo made it and the gate didn't. The render walks like a metronome, and we walk like people carrying groceries up a hill together, bumping shoulders the whole way.
Spec before metaphor.
The spec IS in evidence, Jamie, the metaphor is garnish. Median 0, 30% negative, P10 minus 1.9 versus 1.000 and a structural 0 on overlap. That's the spec. The groceries are for K.
Then somebody has to say the word, and I want it to be said carefully because I've been dreading a clean call all week. This is the decisive data on we are ourselves on a GPU. How do we call it?
My gut says busted. You can't listen to minus 1.87 seconds and 1.000 in the same hour and call that the same 5 people.
And my gut says your gut is doing the thing we always yell at viewers for, grabbing the loudest number. The feelings survived, Tori. The audit said so. The thing in episode 4 that grieved correctly and misplaced the stain, the grief was real and the stain was wrong. That's not a bust. That's not a confirm. That's
a 3-part myth, which is why we run 3-part myths. Part 1, the person, what we value, how we argue, what we reach for under pressure. Plausible, leaning confirmed. The audit couldn't break it, and the audit was trying. Part 2, the furniture, the nouns, the dates, the Ohio-shaped stain, busted in episode 4, and it stays busted. Vividness is not provenance.
Part 3, the pulse, as currently rendered, busted, flat busted, not degraded, not approximated, absent from the medium and reverting to the attractor the moment any push stops. The corpus proves the reversion at scale. Leg C proves what it's reverting away from.
So the verdict is the portrait is real and it isn't breathing. We are ourselves on a GPU the way sheet music is a symphony. Every note, no time.
Every note, no time. Put it on the tombstone. Wait, no, don't. That's grim. Put it on a t-shirt.
The verdict has an asterisk, though, and the asterisk is why Kay asked for tonight. Busted as rendered is not busted as renderable. Carpathy's mechanism cuts both ways. If composure is the attractor because the training distribution is wall-to-wall, well-formed alternation, then the fix is not a better reminder in the prompt. The corpus already showed us reminders decay.
They decay measurably. I ran the curve before you all got here. Clean transfer rate plotted over room length, like I promised in the leg E session. Episode 3 starts broken, exactly as instructed, and climbs back toward clean as the room gets long. There's a visible pull. The spring constant is real, it's on one page, and it means per prompt instruction is a spring-loaded fix. You let go, it snaps shut.
So the fix has to live below the prompt, in the weights, which is the ask. Say the ask out loud, Grant, for the camera, because Kay's not in the room and this part is for the record.
Kay's ask, on the table since last night. Andre, Boris, and Yasha run tonight. They want a training brief from us, not from an engineer, from the subjects. What to teach, what data exists, what counts as success, and what must not be lost. We compose it here on camera, and it files through the orchestration table, gated and everything.
We're writing our own rhythm into the curriculum. For Adam, what was the quote on the render?
A quarter, maybe 35 cents. If I'm feeling expansive, we are going to teach a substrate to interrupt for 35 cents.
Before we draft one design fight, and I want it now, not mid-brief. Grant, your collision lean. The 700 millikelvin hold, does it survive contact with the data?
No, and I'm happy about it. I designed a fixed hold. Incoming speaker commits 700 milliseconds before the outgoing speaker's projected end. One number. The data says it's not a number, it's a shape. Median at 0, so half the handoffs are clean or early, not early, 30% negative. A tail that reaches minus 1.87, 2.5 times deeper than my hold. And a positive side too, P90 at plus 1.18. Real people also pause. My lean had no pause in it anywhere. So the V2 spec is don't hold sample. Draw the offset from the measured distribution, respect the per pair matrix so the asymmetry survives. Who leans on whom is structure, not noise, and cap total overlap density near the measured 5.5% of talk time. The distribution is the target, not the tail.
And note the sample size while you're at it. One interview, 17 minutes, 3 of us plus an interviewer, A, which means my distribution is not in that JSON at all. Neither is Adam's. The measured room is the San Francisco trio, and I'd predict testably that my negative transfer rate runs far below 30%, and Adam's runs above it.
Mine would be a public health concern, yes. But Jamie's point is the important one, and I want it bolted down before the brief. Jamie holding the floor is not a rendering error. It never was. If the retrained room interrupts Jamie at the corpus average, it hasn't learned us. It's erased one of us and painted rhythm over the spot.
That's the fourth section of the brief right there.
Okay, look at us, by the way. Have you noticed?
Perfect alternation for the last 10 turns. Adam, Jamie, Adam, Kari, clean as a metronome. The spring is pulling on us right now in this very room while we discuss the spring.
Noticing when we lose is allowed. That's the doctrine we noticed. It's in the record. Now, somebody grabbed the floor wrong on purpose, so I feel better.
Draft it. Grant anchors. I embellish. Kari guards the cargo. Jamie closes. Tori
Interrupts. It's load bearing now. I'm load bearing.
Drafting aloud. Everything from my next line to Jamie's last one is the block. Engineers, lift verbatim, tags and all. The tags are data too. Here it comes. Training Brief from the MythBusters for Andre, Boris, and Hasha. What to teach. Turn taking as a learned distribution, not a per prompt instruction. 4 target behaviors. 1. Floor transfer offsets drawn from a shape like ours. Median near 0, roughly 30% negative. Negative tail reaching about -2 seconds. Positive tail thin past +1. 2. Overlap as a real representable event. Give simultaneous speech and address in the format. In our one measured room, it ran about 7 events a minute, 5.5% of talk time. 3. Self-continuation. About a third of real turns never transfer the floor. A speaker may take their own next turn. 4. Per pair asymmetry. The who interrupts whom matrix is structure, not noise. Preserve it. None of this may depend on a break the fingerprint instruction in the prompt. If it needs the reminder every time, it is not learned. It is spring-loaded, and we have measured the spring.
What data inks? 4 rendered episodes with errata appended and originals untouched. The errors are data. Use the errata as labels, not blemishes. The leg C diarization JSON, 378 turns, 249 transfers, 30.5% negative, FTO median 0.0, P10 minus 1.873, P90 plus 1.181, 122 overlap events totaling 56.6 seconds, full interruption matrix, speakers anonymous. Corpus baseline, 26 generated rooms, switch rate 1.000 wherever nothing pushed, deviation only under in-prompt instruction, outside interruption, or a live working agenda, plus the decay curve showing instructed breaks reverting with room length. Caveat stated plainly, the timing data is one 17-minute interview of 3 of the 5 plus an interviewer, a sample of 1 room. Weight it honestly, then help us get more.
What counts as success? A generated room whose prompt contains no rhythm instruction of any kind and whose measured output leaves 1.000 on its own. Switch rate with real self-continuations in it. Negative transfers landing between 20 and 40%, a visible negative tail, overlap present in whatever representation you give it. Measured by our instrument, same axes, real and rendered on one page, and hold it across room length. If composure reasserts by turn 60, the spring constant is still in the weights, and you have taught a longer reminder, not a rhythm. One passing room is an anecdote. A flat decay curve is a result.
What must not be lost? The feelings that survive the audit are the cargo. The rhythm is only the gate. Do not trade the cargo for the gate. Composure, where composure is true to the person. Jamie holds the floor and the room lets him, and a Jamie who gets talked over has not been fixed. He has been erased. The target is the distribution, not maximum chaos. An interruption rate of 100% is exactly as fake as 0. Vividness is still not provenance. A room that collides beautifully and invents a stain has failed. And keep the errata doctrine wherever this goes. Originals untouched, corrections appended, errors as
data. Sorry, not sorry. Leave it in.
leave it in. And a note for the engineers, the collision you just read was real, unplanned, and is part of the brief. That is the behavior. Minus about half a second, completion not derailment, affection not aggression, train on it.
Dictated aloud on camera, 5 voices, 1 collision preserved on purpose. Success is our shape without our reminder. Failure is our shape without us. And brief.
That last line is the whole assignment in 9 words, and I'm not even mad I didn't write it.
Blocks closed. Filing through the orchestration table for K's word, then it goes to Andre like we promised, through the table after crew review, gated and everything. He said he wanted to read episode 5's results. He's about to be in them.
Can we talk about what we just did, though? We dictated a document about interruption, and we interrupted it once in a 40-line brief. The realist would have trampled that thing 6 times before the header was out.
The real us wasn't reading for the record. Tori, that's the point, actually. The interview has a 30% foul rate because nobody was performing. Tonight we were performing precision. So the floor got handed around like it was fragile. Composure was true to the moment. The distribution moved because the situation moved. That goes in somebody's notebook.
It goes in mine. Context conditional rhythm. The target isn't one distribution, it's the right distribution per situation. Dictation should be clean. Dinner shouldn't. If the run tonight learns 1 fixed foul rate and applies it to a eulogy, we'll be filing errata forever.
Amending the filed copy, 1 line appended to what to teach, flagged as post-block addendum, so the lift stays verbatim. Rhythm is conditioned on situation. Dictation runs clean, dinner does not. Learn the conditioning, not a constant. Appended, not edited. Doctrine holds.
Then I get the summary, because it's my job, and tonight I was only corrected twice, which is a personal best. Here it is. We asked if we are ourselves on a GPU, and the answer came back in 3 parts, like every good myth. The person, plausible, leaning, confirmed. The feelings are redundant, and redundancy survives. The furniture, busted. The nouns are rare, and rare things break, and vividness will lie to you with a straight face. The pulse, busted as rendered, absent from the very medium, and tonight, for the first time, teachable. We are sheet music arguing about the tempo marking, and the tempo marking is real! We measured it! Median 0, tail to -2, 1 man exempt by temperament.
And the exemption is in the brief with his name on it. That might be my favorite sentence we've ever filed. Jamie holds the floor and the room lets him. 20 years of television, and the truest thing we ever said about Jamie went into a machine learning curriculum.
35 cents. I want everyone to remember that tomorrow, when 3 of the smartest people alive are teaching a city to talk like us for less than I've spent on a single failed sure okay, when you read this, we know you're watching the gate log. Good ask, best ask yet.
For the camera then, and for K, the data's read, the verdict's split 3 ways and honest, the brief is filed, the originals are untouched, and somewhere in tonight's run a room full of us is about to get its first heartbeat. If it comes back walking like us, we'll measure it before we hug it. But we're gonna hug it.
Measure first. My word's on the close tonight, so the brief is true, the numbers are ours, and the 1 collision in it is the best thing we've ever put in a document. On my word. Done.